I want to talk about mental health today and how social media is playing a critical part in it, whether good or bad, and for the bad for now, and what they can do, and hopefully they're listening to fix this because you're fueling it, because it's moving from social media to real life now. Back in the day, people would just turn on the camera and start a channel and get tens of thousands of views, right? Find a cult-like following, and it kept them in the house, away from other people. You know, if you were older enough, you knew we used to have institutions that would do it. Now we have social media. And they didn't bother nobody. They would just make content all day and get thousands of eyes on them, attention. And we were okay, right? Nobody was hurt. But that changed. The algorithm decided to say, you know what we're going to do? We don't like this anymore. So we're going to change. And these people who had mental issues and mental health issues and mental trauma that they could not process, right, went from getting tens of thousands of views to hundreds of views, i.e., no attention. Accounts removed permanently off of certain places, certain social media apps. They couldn't find their ground. So what did these people do? They decided to go outside and mess with innocent people. Yeah. I was looking at a story on one of the investigating channels where it was a young lady who started a social media thing where she would go and find people in relationships and mess with them. She'll see people, like holding hands or whatever. She'll mess with them. And that was her content, right? It wasn't about inequality. It was about just getting attention, because she, prior to that, was making men ain't this and this and that content, and that got boring and that wasn't getting any views. So she decided to go mess with people because they're not mentally well. You see what I mean? The medicine that was given to them was social media, but it wasn't working anymore. So they ratcheted up. So she decided to go mess with people. Now we have people who are doing anything and everything to be able to get attention and views. We have people who are showing up at content creators' homes. We have people who are doing things to people, right? Because they are losing views, right? Because the attention that they used to get, they no longer get. And you see them, what do y'all call them? Grifters. They start pivoting, right? They start pivoting in other things because they're trying to get that dopamine. They're trying to get that high again, right? Because the ghost that usually they're trying to outrun is starting to catch up to them. With those issues that they start to outrun start to catch up to them, right? Because the algorithm changed. So they start going to mess with people. Now you have men who, because they're not getting the attention, they go mess with a woman and they start messing with her, record her outbreak. Like they didn't just cause that. They do stuff like this. This is mental illness, and they're starting to come outside. They're starting to affect outside. You see? They're starting to affect the people that are outside. They're starting to go there because the algorithm changed. You're no longer giving them TikTok. You're no longer giving them social media, any of the views that they used to get. And I understand. You feel as though that it's a civic duty not to spread whatever they're saying. I get it. However, I believe even if you have to give them fake views for the sake of society to keep them inside, give them views, because they are hurting people in real life. You understand? They are hurting people in real life. These people are not well. It's something wrong with a human that wakes up in the morning, right? And says, I'm going to go mess with someone. They turn on social media and they say, I'm going to do it in real time. There was a young man who messed with the old man and got the brakes beat off of him. He thought it was going to happen a certain way. There is people who are breaking up their families for likes and views. There's people who are doing things for likes and views for the sake of it. Give them back where it was soft. Hey, we're going to, we just going to give you fake views. A lot of them don't even want the money. They just want to feel as though that they're important. It's obvious they're not going to get the help. The reality is they're not going to get help. They look at social media as their therapist. And the reality is this is what we have to deal with. But I'd rather that person stay in the house and sit on live, sit on whatever, and sit there than to come outside and affect people. People are losing their life because of these people. And then they do an investigation and realize this person was a content creator, and then it's a correlation between when they were getting thousands of views and then they was getting hundreds of views, all of a sudden they snap. There's a correlation to it. There's something to look into. Okay, we noticed when you were getting 10,000 views, we noticed when you were getting 20,000, 30,000 views, you were okay. But when you started getting 1,000 views, when you stopped getting certain stuff, you all of a sudden had a mental breakdown. I'm saying give it back to them until such time that they can figure it out. If you got to create something, because they are going out in the real world and hurting people and hurting themselves. They are hurting people. And I get it, man. You have to do some type of social duty to be able to say, I need to stop this type of message. I need to stop this. And I get it, man. I 100% get it. I get it. But there has to be another solution, because these people are going in the real life, real world, and doing real life consequences that are getting them hurt. We have to do something. And if it means give them their daggone views to keep everybody safe, then just give it to them. Give it to them. Peace.